Sometimes we experience betrayals so deep that they leave scars within us. In those moments, a single question echoes in our minds. If I forgive, will everything be okay? But what if forgiveness doesn't heal you, but instead wounds you even more? What if some betrayals are never truly deserving of forgiveness? Research shows that repeated breaches of trust damage self-esteem, increase anxiety, and deepen feelings of loneliness. Yet, we have always been told, you must forgive because it's the right thing to do. But is it really? Are we obligated to forgive in every situation? Or is it sometimes healthier to protect ourselves by not forgiving? Before we dive into this video, I have a small request for you. Comment below. Forgiveness or distance? Which one do you believe is the right choice? Also, if you want this message to reach more people, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Today, we will explore a topic that many people secretly question but rarely discuss openly. Let's uncover why some betrayals should never be forgiven. The shadows of betrayal. Why some people don't deserve forgiveness tonight. We will dissect the most brutal forms of betrayal. This journey will make you realize that some people do not deserve a second chance. And perhaps, by the end of this discussion, you'll gain a new awareness about who truly deserves a place in your life and who doesn't. Let's start with a question. Have you ever unknowingly endured repeated betrayals? Maybe you ignored subtle disrespect that slowly ate away at your soul. Maybe you were lied to, deceived, and manipulated over and over again. But because society taught you that forgiveness is always the right thing to do, you convinced yourself to keep going. However, here's the truth. Some betrayals should never be forgiven because forgiving them only normalizes the betrayal and allows it to continue. Let's now take a closer look at the betrayals that should never be forgiven. 1. Repeated lies. Trust takes years to build, yet it can be shattered in mere seconds. A small lie told out of fear or panic may be forgivable. But habitual lying is a character flaw. Someone who repeatedly lies destroys the very foundation of trust. You begin to question everything they say. Is this finally the truth, or just another lie? A study conducted at the University of Denver found that being repeatedly lied to leaves deep psychological scars. It leads to self-doubt and mental exhaustion. You might find yourself thinking, how did I not see this? Am I too naive? Some people say that everyone deserves a second chance. But remember, chronic liars only change when they suffer real consequences. If you continuously forgive someone who keeps lying, you might unknowingly be sending them this message. No matter what you do, I will always forgive you. And that's why, sometimes, choosing distance over forgiveness is the healthiest decision. Second, continuous disrespect. Disrespect is not always loud and obvious. Sometimes, it's subtle, quiet, and almost invisible. A sarcastic smile, an eye roll, a joke that belittles your experiences, a dismissive response when you express concern. At first, these things might seem insignificant, but over time, they build up like rust on metal, slowly eroding your self-worth. One day, you wake up and realize that you've started accepting things you once considered unacceptable. You have lowered your standards and convinced yourself that this is just how people are. But remember, respect cannot be taught or demanded. It is either given freely or not at all. If you constantly have to tell someone, your words and actions hurt me, and yet they continue to ignore your feelings, perhaps it's time to walk away. 3. Apologies without true remorse. Some people only apologize to ease their guilt, not because they truly regret their actions. Saying, "I'm sorry," is easy. But a real apology is more than just words. It's followed by change. If someone apologizes but continues their toxic behavior, they are not truly sorry. They are simply looking for temporary relief from their guilt. True remorse is demonstrated through actions, not just words. If someone who hurt you doesn't change their behavior after apologizing, then maybe, instead of forgiving them, it's time to create some distance. 4. People who dismiss your feelings and experiences. Sometimes, betrayal doesn't come in the form of a single big event. It comes quietly, through a pattern of invalidation. You express your emotions and they say, "You're being too sensitive. You're overreacting. Why are you making such a big deal out of this?" Psychologists define constant emotional invalidation as a form of psychological abuse. Why? Because it slowly erodes your ability to trust your own emotions and experiences. It makes you question whether your pain is even real. But here's what you must remember. Changing people is not your responsibility. Your only responsibility is deciding whether or not you want to stay in such an environment. 5. Repeated patterns of betrayal. Some betrayals don't just happen once. They repeat themselves in cycles, again and again. A liar will lie again. A manipulator will manipulate again. A disrespectful person will continue disrespecting you. Do you really believe that someone who has repeatedly disappointed you will suddenly change? If someone has broken your trust multiple times and shown no real effort to change, it's not a mistake anymore. It's a pattern. Here's something to think about. If you trusted me, I wouldn't have needed to lie to you. If you weren't so sensitive, I wouldn't have treated you that way. These are classic manipulation tactics used by people who refuse to take responsibility for their actions. But remember, your emotions are valid. Your pain is real. As you listen to this, maybe certain relationships in your life are coming to mind. Maybe you're realizing something you didn't see before. If so, remember this. You are not obligated to forgive. You are obligated to protect your peace. Choosing to walk away from those who repeatedly hurt you is not selfish. It is self-respect. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because protecting yourself is your greatest strength.